third UFC fight week now. I mean, it's happened really fast, but does it feel? I mean, is it starting to feel like home? Does this feel different than it did at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, for sure, man. Starting to feel less like a rookie, more like I belong here, like you said, and just more in the mix, man.
As your comfort increases, I mean, what does that do for you on fight night? You know, I mean, I would think sometimes those nerves and that edge is good. As you settle in, does that make you more dangerous? Does it make it easier? What do you think?
It's kind of the transverse effect, man, because I came in with all of the nerve, the heat, the pressure, and it was just tiring me out before I even got to the octagon, man. And nowadays, it's the piece that I was looking for in the violence, man. I'm actually enjoying it and having the time to enjoy the trip, man, and get the things that I need done, and then focus on the fight when it's time to fight.
It is happening so fast for you, man. I mean, are you pleased with that you're getting this repetition so quick? Is it tough? I mean, does it feel like maybe they're asking a lot of you because they want to market your name? I mean, what do you think?
I don't even think that you could ask too much of me in this sport, man. I'm so happy to be here, dude. I remember talking to you on the Contender Series. It's just like I'm appreciative to a certain extent that it doesn't really matter when or where. I'm just happy to be back on the circuit. I'm happy to be back working, competing, and changing the game, man. It's my thing. It's what I do best.
Nice. That first UFC win. I mean, did it mean something? I mean, obviously, I'm sure you would have wanted it to be different or whatever. But I mean, just getting that official UFC win, was that an important moment for you?
It was a cool moment, man. It was a stepping stone moment. It was somebody that I had to get through, prove a point after a DQ. I know there's a lot of controversy about my opponent, but the record says he was good. His old opponents say he was good, so I think it was just a beautiful milestone for me to move into my royalty stage, man.
Did it prove something at least to yourself? I mean, I know that you believe that, hey, I'm capable of being here, but at least getting it done, did it prove something to yourself like, I was right?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I got out of that fight was just that I'm able to calm down and actually fight, and I belong here. But that first Alan Crowder fight told me everything I needed to know, man. He didn't want to fight. He didn't want to continue to fight, and I came to produce in front of one of the biggest crowds I've ever performed in before. So I'm just finding out a little bit about myself every fight, man, and I'm proving to myself with everybody else that I belong.
How much is that a focus? And you talk about kind of like being tired before you even get to the octagon. I mean, football, a sport where it's, explosive as you can be for like 4 or 5 seconds, right? I mean, and you've got this incredible explosive ability, but we're talking about heavyweight MMA fights that sometimes look ugly later in the stages. I mean, how much has that been a focus of saying like, I want to be as explosive and as powerful and as dangerous as I can be, but I also got to be ready if this thing goes 2 rounds, 3 rounds?
It's a big deal for me right now, man. Just conditioning my body to go the rounds. And the people that think that, he doesn't have a guessing this, that, and the other, it's a development in the works, man. We're working on it day after day to make sure that I am one of the most dominant heavyweights in the world, and that's going to take time. But right now, it's a focus just so that I can focus on my actual fighting, man. Land my punches, do the combinations, and the things that we work on camp to camp.
Yeah. I hear sometimes some fighters say that they get better when they don't have fight schedule, right? Because they can work on whatever they want. They don't have to. But you're just getting fight after fight after fight. So do you like this journey, or would you like a little bit of time away? Say, hey, let me retreat into the shadows for a little bit and kind of work on my game a little.
Let's do it, man. I'm all about it. I've been in a place to where I had to take a break from competing and being the best in the world, man, and I didn't enjoy it at all. And this process is for somebody like me. I think I am one of the best athletes in the world, mentally, physically, to be on that level that I was on and that I'm headed for now. You got to be able to learn fast, and that's something that I'm taking advantage of. I'm learning in each and every camp. I'm also at school, but I'm at camp. And it's been a good mix for me, and I want to keep going as far as I can, man. I think we'll take a break when we get up there, top 15, top 10, and start, plotting on opponents and changing the whole entire game completely.
Nice. This fight with Juan Adams, obviously he has not had very kind things to say about you. I'm curious, when he got on your radar, I mean, have you known that this guy's been out here with this hashtag and these things that he's saying about me? When did it register on your radar that there's this guy here that's just attacking me every chance he gets?
He's still not on my radar. I'm a superstar, man. I don't really notice ants. It's lions and sheep, honestly, and their opinion rarely means anything to me. But I mean, I want to say that I have as much respect for the kid as I can have, I guess, for trying to drum up the business that he's trying to drum up, man. When your talent can't back up what you're doing, you got to resort to other methods, and I guess that's what he has to do. But I mean, the world knows me, the crowd knows me. I've been getting bashed this whole time, and my response is still the same. God bless him, man. I'm gonna put him in the hospital and then wish him the best.
So I was curious when they made this matchup, like when they came to you with it, like in a lot of ways it makes sense. It's getting a lot of attention because of the heat that he's brought, right? But I could also see you, when the UFC came saying, I'm not going to let this kid, make his name off me, So when they came with his name, did you say, yes, this will be a great business opportunity, or was there resistance to say, like, this guy doesn't deserve to fight me?
I looked him up just a little bit. I saw him complaining about my boss, Dana, and I don't take that lightly. I saw him talking about the UFC, talking about how they won't give him this and give him that. And as a person that has come in and earned it, I felt responsible when the bosses sent me. So they sent me, I'm coming to handle it, deal with it, extinguish the problem, and move on.
Is it personal to you?
Nothing's personal to me, man. I'm too rich, too pretty. I'm having too much fun to take this personally, man. And I think the only thing that's going to come out of this is I'm going to prove that he's a stepping stone. We're going to wipe his name from history and move on and continue to watch the Prince.
Nice. What's the focus been like for you since the last fight? I mean, as you said, you're growing in the sport. You have to do it in front of everybody's eyes. Was there a particular point of your game, a particular area that you guys focused on? What's been the chief focus?
This round, man, this round of camp and practices, we just decided to go full-fledged into making myself a well-rounded artist, a martial artist, man, and making sure that I encompass everything that I want to be in the future. It started to lean towards just get the knockout, punch them, hit them, and that's not really what I wanted, man. That was it was killing my energy systems. It was clouding my mind, and once like I said, we found that peace in the violence, man. We just started encompassing every single aspect and focusing as much as we can on adding the right amount of sugar, the right amount of spice, the right amount of a whole lot of hell, and combining it to be the most dangerous man in the heavyweight division. So
everybody says, oh, Greg Hardy, he's dangerous, he's powerful, but he got no ground game, he got no wrestling, he got no jiu-jitsu. I mean, are those the areas you're focused on? I mean, do you hate going to wrestling practice? Do you hate going to jiu-jitsu practice?
I hate going to any practice. It's practice. As Iverson said, practice. It's practice. But at the same time, I love being the best. I love getting better. So I approach it every day with a great attitude, just like I approach boxing practice. I hate going to boxing practice. My shoulders are always on fire, but we all know I love knocking people out.
Right.
So, that's how I've been approaching wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I got my own personal coach for that, for wrestling and everything, man. And like I said, we want to make sure that it's well-rounded and dangerous at every single level. And there's no escape, there's no running, there's nothing you can learn, there's nothing new you can add. Everybody's screwed.
You touched on boxing. There's been this rumbling out there that you want to do some boxing. I heard it when you were in Vegas last week. They were saying you want to come do some boxing. So have you started having actual conversations? Because obviously you got to get the UFC's clearance to do that. I mean, have you started having conversations with them about doing some boxing?
Man, I've been putting it out there in the media just because that is something that I aspire to do, man. And you guys want to know about the rest of my life, so why not join in on this aspect? But I've talked to Dana White a little bit, man. The boss, I think he's entertaining the idea. I think that they're going to make some moves, some big moves into the boxing world. There's been some rumblings about them offering Joshua some money and some different things. So I wanted to let them know, man. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Whenever my contract's up, or if it's not up, however it works out, I want to make that move to be the greatest combat sports heavyweight of all time, and it means me crossing over to boxing to do that.
No question. Well, listen, you've had this vision, man. You've been fulfilling every step of it along the way. Like I said, it's been a busy 2019. What are the goals, man? What do you want to accomplish by the end of this year? Are you hoping to stay busy, or you want to start this boxing and what's on the table for you?
In my mind, man, when people start yelling out small goals, I think about the UFC, the NFL, and it's small fish to me. I want to follow this Dana White, Conor McGregor pattern. I'm here to dominate everything in 2019. Whatever comes my way, we're going to make it look like a joke, and it's going to be a show. I'm the best entertainer, I'm the best fighter, and it's not because I'm claiming it or because it's something I've already done. I'm going to work harder than everybody else in this sport and take advantage of every opportunity, man. I'm here to stay, and we are about to entertain the whole world.
This will be another big step, right? I mean, the spotlight is on, ESPN, all that. I mean, when you play this fight out, how do you see this going? How do you get this done on Saturday?
Pain, man. Pain and suffering. I'm going to put him in places that he's never been. I'm going to take him to waters that he's never swam in. And at the end of the day, if we're both tired, we all know which Pro Bowl defensive end is going to, I'm the only one. Shit. Who's going to win?